trip behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there, everybody. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But before we get into that, as you probably noticed, this is episode 850. And it's amazing how far we've come along with the show. And just want to thank all my promoters and fans and artists that have been on the show over the years. And hopefully we can keep getting artists for you to watch and enjoy. So hope you'll still stay tuned for that. And as always, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and bell down there, and anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. And leave a comment on the comment section. And also, we're on Facebook, so go to facebook.com/PalmMashTV, and you can comment the things you see there. Even send us an inbox, and be sure to follow us there as well. And you can send us an email, PalmMashTV, all one word, @gmail.com. And if you're simply a fan, you can send us a fan letter there. But we also encourage anybody who's an artist or a group that wants to be on the show as well. And we'll show you how to do that. And all this will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Benton, Arkansas today, we have Nate Turner. He's a very awesome artist, and I think you're really going to love him. And we're going to start that interview. It starts right now. Okay, here we are with the interview, and with us from Benton, Arkansas today, as promised, we have Nate Turner. Thanks for joining us, Nate.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to have you here today. So tell us your story about how you became an artist. I mean, I'm sure you grew up that way, but maybe you just kind of fell into it. Let us know in your own words.
I grew up singing in church whenever I was a kid and stuff like that, and so that's kind of where my itch to do music came from. But it took me a very, very long time to get to the point where I'm at right now as far as musically. I had some twists and turns, and I grew up at Camp Lejeune is where I grew up, but I joined the Army instead and spent some time overseas in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Came back home, got out of the Army, piddled around for a little bit, met my wife in 97. Sorry, not 97. I met her in 93, and we were married in 95. We moved to Arkansas in 97. And so I joined the Arkansas Army National Guard in 2002. Went to work full-time for them. I just retired June the 22nd after 23 years of active service. So now I'm just a retired traveling musician. In 2015, we had a little bit of a setback with some throat cancer issues and stuff like that, where I had to have some radiation and chemotherapy and stuff like that. And so once I was able to put some stuff together, kind of get through some of that, I actually started playing some music, and just decided that, if I'm ever going to get an opportunity to do this, I'd better do it now. And so in 2019, I started putting some stuff together, and it's just kind of grown a little bit at a time. My schedule is pretty full this year. My wife has been pretty aggressive with getting shows booked and stuff like that, and so that's kind of where we're at.
Oh,
So,
okay. So I guess you've only been doing it for like a couple of years professionally, I guess then.
right, professionally, yes, I've only been doing this since 2019. And it was actually towards the end, around the November, December time frame, when I actually picked my guitar up and started getting a feel for it. I've just always kind of had a little bit of an outgoing spirit, so to speak. And but whenever you get on stage in front of people, that outgoing spirit kind of pulls itself within, and you're not able to show it. Well, you know, through some help of some other people throughout my very brief early career here doing music, I've been able to come out of my shell a little bit and not be so reserved whenever it comes to performing and entertaining and stuff like that.
Mm.
Um, I'm I'm by far not the most great singer out there, but I do like to think that I'm a pretty good performer. So
Okay.
not sound arrogant or egotistical about that, but I just really like to have fun. I like to have a good time. I like to have fun. I like for people to be interactive at a show. It's just not fun for me if they're just sitting in a chair. I like for people to be involved.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and you're good at what you do, and we're all going to see that in just a couple minutes when we play the video. Well, tell us about some of the artists you grew up that really inspired you. To be the artist you are today.
I grew up listening to vinyl, the Glenn Campbell. I grew up listening to Everly Brothers. Jeannie Riley. My grandmother used to have a record player, and she would have a bunch of different records. And so I always made it a point to try to play like the Everly Brothers. And then my grandfather got me hooked on bluegrass with just the theme of the Beverly Hillbillies. Whenever Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, whenever I first heard that, I knew that bluegrass was something that I knew I was going to very, very much like. The banjo is by far my favorite instrument that I love to hear played. And then every episode that I tried to watch of the Beverly Hillbillies, I was always hoping that Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs was going to be on that show, just so I could hear them sing for their supper, as Granny used to make them do. And so that's kind of where I've gotten to now. My influences are, I grew up in the time period of Alan Jackson, George Strait, um, George Jones, Johnny Paycheck, and the list goes on. Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, they're all influences of mine. And there's not just one particular one that stands out that says, okay, this is the guy that I want to to kind of have behind them. This is where I want to go behind them, because it's just very difficult to follow those guys.
Yeah, and you did mention a couple ones I hadn't thought about in a long time. You said Jeannie C. Riley and Glenn Campbell.
Yeah.
They're really good ones. Even Platt and Scruggs are
Yeah.
really good. Um, well, anybody watching this right now might be interested in downloading your music or following on social media. Tell us how we can do that.
You can follow me on Facebook at Nate Turner Music. That's NATETURNER Music. And then my YouTube is N8 Turner. That's how you can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram with N8 Turner Music. It's all one word. It's hard because there's about 4 or 5 different artists with the Nate Turner. If I kind of looked into that a little bit, I might have gone about something different. But that's how you can follow me. Once you get to my Facebook page, pretty much everything, there's a QR codes and stuff on there where you can go follow my YouTube and you can go follow my Twitter. You can go follow my Instagram. They're all listed um, on my Facebook page.
Okay, well, how about the streaming sites? Can we go on there and get your
You,
music that way?
you can. Currently, I only have one single out. It's called "You Are Gone," and that there's a long story about that, and we could probably do that one for another episode, maybe. And you can find me on any streaming platform if you just type in "You Are Gone," Nate Turner, and it will pull up my picture. And so that's the only single that I have currently out. Currently in the process of putting together my next 2 singles. Um, just wanting to know if just trying to decide whether or not I want to go to Nashville to record them or if I'm going to record them here in Arkansas.
Oh,
So I did the You Are Gone in Nashville. And that was one of my bucket list life dreams to be able to record something in Nashville, and I've been able to check that block. and I've been pretty fortunate with some support and stuff like that I have. So.
Okay, well, that is the name of the song we're getting ready to watch in just a minute. Is there kind of a brief story you can tell us about that song?
It's about my biological mother, and she passed away at the age of 38 years old with cancer. I've been pretty fortunate. I grew up with two moms. The plus fortune is that they were both sisters, and so my adopted mom was older, and so she raised me from the time I came home from the hospital till I was about 11 years old. And that's whenever I found out that they were sisters and that she was my biological mom. And like I said, she passed away at 38. And it took me a long time to write the song. And took me a long time to get the confidence to be able to perform it in front of people. And it took me a really, really long time to get to a point where I could record it, listen to it, and not just cry all the time. So, but yeah, that's it. That's the story in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, it is a great song, and we're going to watch that in just a minute. But I think that's all I need right now, Nate. We want to thank you so much for coming on the show. We would love to have you back on again sometime. If you want to plug something new, we'll be glad to have you back.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity, and thanks to Casey and Ruby for referring you to me and for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, they're both great people. And anyway, let's get right to the song "You Are Gone" by Nate Turner, and it starts right now.
It's raining this morning and you were gone. It's tough to face this world when you're all alone. My heart was breaking deep inside the day I had to tell you goodbye. Now how do I get by without you? How do I find a way to make it through? How do I get by without you? It's so hard to make it on my own. Now that you are gone, now I have to face another day, knowing that you've gone away. I pick up the pieces and I try to move on, but it's so hard now that you're gone. So how do I get by without you? How do I find a way to make it through? How do I get by without you? Well, it's so hard to make it on my own. Now that you are gone, it's so hard to make it on my